January 4th, 2018. From El Cajon, California, this is episode 144 of You Can Bet on That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. My name is Mark Duvall, and sitting across from me is Dr. Mike.
Hello.
Happy New Year, Dr.
Happy
Mike.
New Year
Did
to you
you
and
survive
everybody.
the holidays?
Yes, we survived nicely.
Very good.
Went to bed at 9:30 on New Year's Eve.
On New Year's Eve? You didn't stay up?
Saw the ball drop at 9 o'clock.
That's what I did, too. I watched the East Coast feed.
We watched the East Coast thing. We saw the ball drop at 9 o'clock. We drank a little, had one glass each.
Uh-huh.
And about 9:20, the girl said, we're going to go up to our rooms. And Lynn and I, well, what are we sitting down here for?
really.
So, we went up to our room, went to bed.
All right, nice. Of course, Sherry and I were deathly ill during that period, so I wasn't even sure we'd be able to do the show this week. I felt so bad, 4 days ago.
You guys had that flu.
Oh my
going
gosh,
around.
yeah, just everybody getting it around here. And
I don't know if the whole country has been that way, but Southern California is very hard hit with the flu.
Yeah, we were victims of it. Luckily, the kids haven't gotten it, and fingers crossed. So, but welcome to this side of 2018.
Yep.
So what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about our big Boxing Day casino crawl.
And I think crawl's the right word.
Yeah.
The traffic was so bad.
Well, going up there. Now, coming back, I guess it wasn't too bad. But you're right.
Parts of it were bad.
It depended on when it was. So, and when we talk about these casinos, too, this is by no means a comprehensive review of these places. In many cases, we were in and out. We basically, let's take a look so that we can move on to the next one.
We wanted to see what they look like. And we were on kind of a time schedule. We actually did spend a lot of time. I mean, we spent most of the day, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we didn't even get to San Manuel, which was going to be our last stop.
Yeah.
But when we looked at the traffic and how long it really was not close to the other casinos we were going to, but we thought, well, we've got to go up there. That's a big one.
And we were going to be getting home after midnight or something. And so it's like, no, we got to work.
Yeah, that's right. So we decided, okay, that's one that we actually cut out. So we'll have to go back to San Manuel.
Right.
But anyway, we did as much as we could during that time. And in some cases, we only stayed at each casino a little amount of time. But let's go ahead and talk about it. So we decided what we would do. We would drive to the one that was furthest away from our houses first and kind of work our way back.
Yeah, which is like almost Arizona.
I know, really, no kidding. Well, it's to Coachella, right?
Coachella.
Which is, past Palm Springs, right?
We weren't that far from Arizona, really.
So we decided, well, that'll be good because then we'll work our way back. And if we need to, as the time starts to get tight,
we can eliminate stuff.
If we can just go home and we'll be closer than, trying to go. So the very first place that we went to was Augustine Casino in Coachella. And this is a very small casino.
Yeah, very small, very local. I mean, you might not even know it's a casino if you drove by and didn't look at signs, right?
Yeah, and it just suddenly was upon us.
Right.
But it was quite a ways off the freeway. Definitely a locals casino. In fact, we were asking the dealer that we were playing blackjack with when we were there, do you get anything other than locals? He says, really, no, because we're just not off the freeway. And
He was very nice.
Very nice.
The dealer, the people there seemed very nice.
Well, the first thing we did, and we did this at all the places we went to, we went and signed up for the Players Club that they had.
I've already gotten emails from several of them.
I have too, And this was very straightforward and very quick. In this case, it was you could get either $10 match play everybody had some kind of sign-up bonus.
Right.
This was at Augustine, a $10 match play, or if you wanted to play slots, I think you played some game where you spun a wheel and you could win anywhere between $20 and $30 in free play. And we said, let's just get the match play.
Yeah, we were going to play a little blackjack there anyway.
Yeah. So they had a few tables, no craps, of course, but 3 blackjack tables. Not everything was open when we were there, but 3 blackjack and your typical 3-card poker and Ultimate Texas Hold'em, things like that.
Right.
All the blackjack tables were 3 to 2, including the $3 table.
Right, which was open.
Open
on a Tuesday in the early morning.
Yeah, we got there. I guess it was probably afternoon, but
1 o'clock.
It took us a little over 2.5 hours to get to the first place, Augustine there. So, but $3 blackjack, and it looks like they have that all the time, or at least most of the time, because I went to their website and they were touting that. Yeah. So that was nice. But we just played some blackjack there with our match play. I think we both lost our match play bet, but we played a little bit and ended up winning.
We each won.
I won like $1. I don't know. You went, not much.
I won like $40-some.
Well, we didn't play very much, but the dealer was very nice and was talking to us. There was what appeared to be a regular at the table with us who was
she was playing third base.
Yeah, and she wasn't real crazy about all the chit chat.
Yeah,
because the dealer. When he talked, he did not deal.
No. He would stop and talk. And, he was initiating a lot of the talk.
Oh, absolutely,
asking,
sure.
Well, where are you guys here from? Because he obviously didn't recognize us.
And we started asking questions. questions. Like, what does it get busy here on a Friday night? That kind of thing. We're hitting all the casinos in the area.
Yeah, and he was real curious about, what we were doing and where we were going.
Yeah.
He would stop and she would just shoot darts out of her eyes at him like, come on,
Oh my gosh.
She's in the third base smoking her cigarette.
Yeah, that's But at one point I said, okay, the deal of cards, we'll talk after this hand. But it went well. And what was the side bet that they had there, Mike?
It was match the dealer card.
Oh, that's right. Match the dealer. So that's where you make the bet. And if either one or both of your cards is the same rank as the dealer's up card, you would get paid.
Right. And depending on if it was suited, you got paid a little more.
Right, yes.
If it's the same rank and suit, you got paid more.
And you would get paid for each card. So if you had a pair of 7s and the dealer had a 7, you'd actually win the bet twice, once for each of your cards. Right. Yeah. So did you bet that? Did you ever win it?
I bet it a couple of times, maybe 4 times, and I think I won it once.
Okay.
And then there was a couple times when I didn't bet it, and I would have won it.
Yeah. So we were there just a very short time. Again, a very small casino. Anything else to say about that?
No, they were friendly and nice. And, if you're in Coachella for like the festival in April or whatever, then, and you like to play cards too.
And you want a low-key casino.
Or you just wanted, they had a nice bar, remember?
Yeah, that's true.
Towards the back, they had this big round bar where the bartender's in the middle, a big round thing. It was pretty big for a casino that small. The bar was substantially sized.
Yeah.
So, that'd be a good place to hang out if you were there for that. I don't know how close the concert is to
No, I don't know either.
That.
Yeah, from where we were.
Yeah, other than that, I don't think there'd be much reason we'd ever go back there if we just happened to be in the area.
No, I can't see us ever going back there because a lot of the other casinos that we went to were just bigger.
Yeah.
And they were more convenient.
There were more nicer things to do.
Yeah.
But if we're at Coachella at the concert and Beyonce cancels at the last minute again, then, we can just head over there.
All right, let's make that a plan.
Yeah.
I'm going to pencil that in.
Pencil it in.
Maybe I'll use pen.
No, don't use pen.
All right, just pencil it.
Or erasable pen.
Well, the next place we went is a casino called Spotlight 29. Also a casino just by itself, no hotel, although significantly bigger than Augustine.
Much bigger.
When we got there, we were kind of surprised because it has a huge circular driveway.
Yeah.
It looks like they can accommodate quite a few people.
It must get very crowded at times because the driveway was huge.
Mm-hmm, yeah. And when we asked one of the dealers, we said, well, do you get a lot of, is it mostly locals or a lot of tourists? She said that it used to be a lot of tourists, but then some of the other casinos that opened up took away some of their business. So it's still a lot of locals. But she said that when they have a concert, because it looks like they have a concert venue there,
right,
then they do get a lot of people in.
Yeah, I would imagine they get a lot of people for concerts, things like that. And they must have them because, they had the driveway with those cones, those
right,
marked off like they're expecting thousands of cars.
That's really what it looked like.
Yeah.
I thought a very nice casino inside.
It was very, very nice inside. Yeah. But no craps.
No craps. They had bubble craps, shoot to win craps.
Yeah, when I asked if you have craps, they said, oh yeah. And it was bubble craps.
Yeah, you should have been more. Do you have a craps table?
I should have asked, do you have anyone who can deal craps?
That might have been. I don't know if they do. But again, signing up for the Players Club, very fast here. There were 2 people working the desk, so they did us simultaneously. At Spotlight 29, the sign-up bonus was a $10 match play for table games and $10 in slot play. Yeah. Both.
No video poker. You couldn't use it on video poker. Right. Only certain machines.
Certain machines. I think also progressives you couldn't use it on.
Yeah, no progressives.
Right. But we were able to find machines to do that. So we played some blackjack there for a little while too. And the side bet that they had there was called Bust It. Maybe we've talked about it on the show before, but it would pay if the dealer busted on exactly 3 cards.
Right. The only bust it would pay on is exactly 3 cards.
It had to be exactly 3 cards, and you would get paid different odds depending on what the bust card was.
Right.
So if it was a face card or a 10, it was the lowest payout.
Yeah, 6 would be the highest.
6 would be the highest, so yes.
16, you got a 6. It paid the highest. I kind of don't like that because it's only 3 cards as opposed to what they call Buster.
The Buster blackjack. Where you actually get paid more if you bust on more than 3 cards. Yeah.
Right. Well, because you can actually win a substantial jackpot. Somebody busts on 7 cards or 8 cards.
Yeah.
Whereas this, the payouts weren't that high. It's not like, if you're down $2,000, you're going to, I'll just hit a bust them and be back to even.
No, you're right. There was an exception, though. If the dealer busted with 888.
Oh, right.
And they were the same color, I think if like they were all red or they were all black, it was some big payoff. And if they were all the same suit, because it's being dealt out of a shoe, it was even bigger. So that didn't happen. We were there, of course.
No.
But we did.
I don't think they busted while we were there.
Really? You bet the didn't? There must have been a couple
I think
of
I bet it, and I think it hit maybe once or twice. But we played for good 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well, very nice. It was a little odd. We were getting hungry at that point. We said, well, maybe let's go at least get something snacky.
And they had a food court.
Mm-hmm, yeah, a food court. What, it was like 2 or 3 places.
Yeah, maybe 3.
But it was completely closed.
Completely closed at lunchtime on a holiday week. Now, it wasn't a weekend.
No.
So I understand that. But it was, a lot of people are out of work. And there were people in the casino.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, there were. It wasn't super crowded. Well, I will say this. The signing up for the Players Club at these first 2 casinos we went to
was awesome.
Very smooth.
Yeah, very awesome.
As we got later into the day, it became clear to us that the casinos had staffed for a typical Tuesday afternoon and not the day right after Christmas, which this was.
Right, and which a lot of people have off. A lot of people take that week off.
Yeah, or they're on vacation, coming in and, hey, let's go to the casino. Right. So we were, I guess, at the first 2 anyway, earlier enough that we didn't see any
there weren't
staffing
big crowds
issues.
yet. Yeah. As the day got on, the casinos got more crowded, and then low staff meant to problems.
Yeah. So that was it for Spotlight 29. We didn't get anything to eat. So we continued on to our next spot, which was Fantasy Springs.
Now, these 3 casinos, these first 3 are all very close.
Yes, very close.
I mean, from Spotlight 29 to Fantasy Springs is like a 2-minute drive.
Yeah, it was very close. It really was very close. Now, Fantasy Springs is a full resort, hotel and everything.
They got a bowling alley. Yeah. They had a concert venue thing there. Mm-hmm. They had quite a bit.
Yes.
Nice pool. We walked in. They had a very nice pool.
I thought it was nice. What do you think about just the inside of the casino, Mike? I think I actually preferred Spotlight 29 to Fantasy Springs. Now, if you disagree, that's fine.
No, I don't disagree. I think I liked Spotlight 29 because it was spacious.
Yeah, I like high ceilings.
And very spacious. Lots of room in between aisles.
Yeah.
Fantasy Springs wasn't the most crowded of the ones we went to, but it was a little more crowded than Spotlight 29.
Still no craps, table craps, although they had a craps machine, not shoot to win, but one that I don't even know the brand on this because it's not obvious when it says, but instead of the dice bouncing, they're kind of in a spinner. Where the dice are spun around real quick, and then the roll comes with that.
But nobody was anyone playing? I didn't see anyone over there.
I can't even remember at this point. Yeah. But it didn't seem like it was too crowded in the casino. But when we went to sign up for Players Club, this was when there was not enough staffing.
Right. And it was weird. Before we start.
Yeah.
The Players Club's in the middle of the casino.
Yes.
It wasn't like off. Usually they're off in a corner or against a wall or something. Mm-hmm. This was like a booth in the middle of the casino, like a round booth that had spots for like 7 or 8 people to work.
Right, workers, yeah. Uh-huh.
But there were only 2 working when we got there.
Yes.
A third one came just as we were leaving.
It did seem strange that it was taking up that prime real estate in the middle of a casino instead of some, wall somewhere off to the side.
That's the prime spot for, that's where you'd put the craps games or, or something, blackjack tables, and player sign up. I mean, it was weird.
It was strange too, because when we stepped up to it, again, it's a circular kind of a counter there. So we stepped up and we thought, we're next in line. And then the woman said, oh, sorry, the line's on the other side of this.
Right.
And it's like, we had
There was one line for, there was a second line for higher ranked people.
That's right. Yes.
But the line for just the lower ranks, which we were signing up, there was just one line and they would call you to your position. Mm-hmm. We just went and stood behind somebody and, no, that wasn't right.
So anyway, that's what we did actually have to wait a while.
We waited. It seemed like quite a while.
It was. And I went first and went around to the other side and the young woman was helping me and she said, oh my gosh, I've been on the phone trying to get more people. We weren't expecting this many people to come in. And so she signed me up. And then when I was almost done, then you went to the woman who was working on the other side.
Yeah, a little older lady. Mm-hmm. And she had just finished with a family of 4.
From Australia, I believe,
they
right?
were from Australia.
And they were signing up for new cards,
They were signing up for new cards.
Okay.
So when I stepped up, she looked at me and said, how can I help you? And I said, I'm a new member. I'd like to sign up for a card. And she said, oh, not another one.
I love that.
It's this older lady. I mean, like 70 years, not old. I mean,
No,
I'm almost that, but she's like 70 years old, and she just looks at me. Oh not another guy.
It's like she's being bombarded, right? Oh my God, my job.
And I kind of grinned and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm just new to the casino. And she, okay. And, there was a form to fill out.
Yeah, we had to fill out stuff.
Which is different from the other ones. We just gave them our driver's license. They took all the info. Yeah. But this was a form to fill out. And then, after I filled out the form and she took some info and stuff and gave me my card, she was pretty pleasant about explaining to me how to find the correct slot machine.
Yes, I was done at that point, so I came to stand by you. And she was very informative.
Yeah, informative about what exactly we needed to do and how it worked. Press this button, then press that button.
That was pretty funny, though. I wonder if the Fantasy Springs management would appreciate that you're first dealing with an employee. Not another one.
Not another one. She did kind of. That's when she told me all those other people were from Australia, and I guess maybe there was more paperwork to do because they were.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, that's what you were saying, was that it was actually easier for her with the people from Australia because for some reason, since you were an American citizen, she had to look you up on the FBI website or something.
No, it was to make sure I didn't have a card there already and I wasn't taking advantage.
Or you didn't owe them money or something.
Yeah, or she had to look up a lot of info. With them, it was like, oh, they're out of the country. We don't have to. Okay. And they all had passports too. So I'm sure that was confusing for her.
Well, even though this process was a little painful, Fantasy Springs did have the best sign-up bonus. As soon as you played $20 through a machine, and again, I think this also couldn't be video poker or any of the progressive
certain machines.
Once you played $20 through, you got $60 in free play.
Yeah, so you had to play 20 of your own money, but then you got 60 in free play, which is a pretty good deal.
Yeah, and we're not talking about losing $20.
No,
it's just playing it through.
Yeah, she made a note of that to me. Mm-hmm. You only have to play 20. You don't have to lose 20 or anything. So just put your 20 in. If you play $5 a push, 4 pushes, then you're good. Cash out and get your 60.
Yeah. So it worked out great for me. I cashed out for like $120 plus the 20 that I played through. So I did real well.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was just some silly slot with 7s on them. I don't even know what it was. I
think I ended up getting my money back or something like that. Yeah.
So we were there a little longer than we thought. Normally we played some blackjack at these casinos, but since we didn't have any table game free play, we just kind of looked around and then took off. They did have a couple of nice things at Fantasy Springs. They did have off-track betting, which I didn't see at any of the other casinos.
Didn't see it anywhere else but there.
It's possible that they were others, but this is the only place we saw it. It was pretty prominent. They also had an enclosed non-smoking slot area. Yeah. Not just, over in the corner, but actually you had to, open a door and go through. And so, it's going to be a little less smoky than just in the main part of the casino.
Right. Hopefully it has good ventilation. It shouldn't be smoky at all.
Yeah, yeah.
We did not get a room at Fantasy Springs.
No, we did not.
On specific direction from my wife.
She was real adamant about that.
Did not get a room.
You and Mark be getting a room. So, all right. All right. Next stop was Agua Caliente. And we were looking forward to this because we knew that they had a craps table. And this is the casino that we spent the most time in. We were talking about it afterwards. It's the only casino we lost at.
Yeah. We had great parking luck, though.
That's right. Oh, yeah. We just right up. We didn't really know we were going.
No, I didn't go the right way. I went kind of a back way. We parked right next to the door.
Yeah, only because somebody was leaving. It was this very small, sublot.
Right.
And it was
somebody
packed,
just happened to be leaving. We just parked right next to the door. We actually had good parking at every casino except the last one.
Yes, that's true. And we'll talk about that when we get to it. So Agua Caliente, their sign-up bonus wasn't all that great. I think was it automatically $10 or did we? I think we had to slide our card.
We had to slide our card, and I think you could get up to 20 or something. We both got 10.
Yes,
it was very. As a matter of fact, I didn't even use mine.
Yeah, you did. Remember, you didn't think you were going to, and then you went back.
I did. I went back later.
You actually had a choice of machine or table.
When I signed up, he asked me, "Are you a machine player or table player?" And I said table player because they had craps, and I knew we were going to play some craps.
Yes.
So I said table player, and he said, okay, well, then you've got to slide your card and then you've got to come back here and get your chips.
Yes.
And I slid my card and then we didn't go back and get the chips.
Yes, right.
So you played your slots.
Yeah, I just played, and I was able to use it on a video poker machine. So I just, $10 worth.
But then later, before we left, I remember, you're right. I did get my $10 and I got nothing out of it.
That's right. What'd you do? But you made some hard way bet. You could do it. You could bet it anywhere. It didn't have to be an even money bet.
Yeah, that was nice. It did not have to be an even money bet. I think I put it on a hard 6 and hard 8.
Good. And they weren't match play. It was just a goofy chip. It was like huge compared to the other chips, right? So they could tell the difference.
But it just sat there, never won.
So we played some craps. Now the way that again, this is California, so all the craps has to be card based. The way that they do it at Agua Caliente is very similar to how they do it at many of the other casinos. They just have 6 cards, ace through 6, to represent the 6 sides of each one of the dice, and they would shuffle those and then put them onto the layout, each card next to a picture of one of the sides of the dice.
So you might have the dice showing a 1, and the card there might be a 6.
Yes.
And the 2 dice might be a 3 on the card, all the way until, you have 6 cards and 6 dice.
Yes.
So you roll the dice, you translate. If you've rolled a 4 and a 3 on the dice, you look at what the 4 card is and the 3 card is, and that's your roll.
And that's your roll.
Yeah.
Now, it might sound a little confusing if you haven't seen it. If you were to actually see it in action, it's actually very straightforward, and I think pretty much everyone would be able to understand what's going on, except that guy that was on the table with us.
Oh my God. There was a guy.
He just could not get it.
He just could not get it. And his son kept trying to explain it to him. And he's like, Dad, you look at the dice and you look what number dice there, and then you look at the card and that's your roll. He just could not get it.
And he's telling his dad, look, okay, ignore the dice. Just look at the cards that they push
they
out.
Would push the cards out. Just look at those cards. And his dad still could not get it. And I mean, he finally left after he was out of money, mumbling, how confusing that was, and how it didn't make sense, and it can't be the same odds, and
right.
Oh God.
So every casino that uses this kind of card technique, each one usually has different criteria for when the cards will be shuffled. Some casinos, it's every new shooter. Some casinos, it's every roll.
Right.
At Agua Caliente, it was anytime the pass line won, anytime there was a 7 out, or anytime the dice went off the table. Right. Is that right? There wasn't any other time when they would shuffle it. Like if
when
it was
the pass line won on a 7, say you've just got the dice, your first roll, and you win on a 7, they shuffle the cards. You roll the dice, you win on 11, don't shuffle the cards.
No, they did.
Oh, they did. Yeah, you're right.
That's
pass line winner. They shuffle the cards. Roll a 3.
Yes.
Your line bet loses. They don't shuffle the cards.
Correct.
So it was a winning roll, pass line winner.
Which could include making the point.
So when you made the point, they reshuffled cards.
Right.
And then also on a 7 out, so for a new shooter, they shuffle cards. And we noticed when the dice went off the table.
Just for whatever.
That doesn't make any sense at all. We were trying to figure
who came up with this. I mean, it's fine, big deal. They do it quickly enough. But who came up with this
the shuffling of the cards was very quick.
Yeah. The crews were very nice. We actually thought that they were excellent.
Extremely nice.
At one point, only half the table was open. And when they actually opened up the whole table, they didn't have enough staff for a stick person. So the dealers on each side, they each had a stick to kind of manipulate the dice to get it from one side to the other.
And that seemed like they were used to that, like they do that a lot, because she said they don't have a full complement till 7 at night.
Okay, and we were there a little bit earlier.
Right, if it got busy during the day, then they would just work on either side with no stick person.
So, I mean, we enjoyed the experience, but you want to talk about chili. Yeah. Wow, it was terrible. Just terrible
cold.
Luck. Yeah. While we were there, they were nice enough to comp us a meal. It was mostly from your play, but we were able to get a meal at their cafe, Waters Cafe. So we ate there. It was fine. You and I were talking about it. The presentation was excellent.
The food came out. It looked so good and lots. And I thought, wow, this is really a nice, this is going to be great. And then the food was just kind of bland.
It was
tasting.
bland. I had a Denver omelet and it was like,
I had a club sandwich and, it's just a sandwich, but it just was not that good. They sat us when we got there way in the back.
Yeah, they must have seen us coming. It really was.
Farthest table from the front door you could get in a corner. And I thought, she passed by all these tables and is this where you put the losers? What? I mean, we're all the way in the back.
It was pretty funny. We were so far back there.
But the nice thing is they had a bathroom in the restaurant.
Yeah, isn't that funny? It's unusual for a casino restaurant to actually have the restrooms in the restaurant. Usually you have to go back out into the casino area or the hotel area.
Some of them you have to walk quite a ways. Yeah, it always kind of annoys me. It's always like, well, let's wash our hands before we go to eat, right? But this one we actually ordered and then we went to the bathroom and it was right there in the restaurant.
Oh, nice. So that was Agua Caliente. We were at that casino certainly longer than any other place that we went. Yeah, simply because they had craps and we wanted to play some. But no, it did not go.
And we knew that the following places did not have craps, so we thought, well, we'll stay here a little longer, play, you know, so we don't do all this driving, see all this stuff, and not do anything all day.
So we're checking our watches, and we were going to go to a casino called Spa Casino, but it's run by the same tribe that owns Agua Caliente.
Right. So we would not have gotten any free play.
Yeah, the Players Club would have been the same, so it wouldn't have been any. So we said, well, you know, we're looking at our time. Let's move on.
And the dealer explained to us they have exactly the same thing. I mean, it was exactly the same casino. They had craps there too. Well, maybe we should have gone.
Are you sure? That doesn't sound right.
No, I thought she said they have craps there too, just like one table.
All right, I'm going to disagree with you only because there was a customer there that was telling us how beautiful Spa Casino was.
You're right.
But he said, but no craps. Okay,
you're right. That customer was saying that they had no craps. That's why he preferred to come here. But he said go there to check out the fountain or something, right?
And you know, we were considering it, but at this point, we're looking at our watches like, you know, we're starting to get tired on the road.
Yeah, so, that guy, I was laughing because as he was saying it, I was going to be like, the fountain? We're going to drive over there to check out that they had some kind of nice fountain in the hallway or something. We want to play craps.
That's right.
What the hell?
Well, our last stop was going to be Morongo, and we did go to Morongo. Now, this is where the parking was kind of weird. I was just watching Siri tell us where to go.
Right.
And so I took you, I think it was actually a very fast way to get there.
Right.
But unfortunately, it kind of dumped us out into this weird parking area.
Right. It was marked off really weird.
Yeah.
I mean, like one-way areas and stuff.
Yeah,
it was hard to
trouble,
navigate. Yeah. So we finally, forget this. Let's just go to the parking structure.
Yes. Yeah.
So we go on the other side of the casino, the parking structure, and that was kind of a nightmare too.
Well, just because you got behind the slowest driver in the history of Earth.
Yeah. Oh my God. The guy made a turn. Now nobody in front of him. He made a turn that had to have taken a good 40 seconds to turn. I just could not get around him.
Amazing. So anyway, we did park. This place was packed. Yes. Morongo was packed. Now by now it's early evening. And people are going. It was very crowded.
It was very, very crowded. Well, there was a huge line at the Players Club.
Yes, it did take us a little while to get through that. It was another one where you slid your card to see what you get. I got $5. You got $10. It was whatever. But it was just too crowded, really, to find a place to play. And at that point, we're thinking, boy, it'd be nice to be able to still play some craps. We're thinking, maybe we should go to San Manuel. Let's go up to San Manuel and maybe play. But no, it was too far away.
Yeah, the problem with San Manuel is you looked on your phone. There was tons of traffic to get there.
That was the thing, too.
And that was going to take us a long time to get there.
Yes.
And it's funny because that's the only place. I had $300 of free play there.
That's right.
And we didn't get to use it.
That's right. I forgot about that. That was one of the reasons we were going to make this trip is because you had so much free play there.
Yeah, I had $300 and it was good until December 31st.
No.
So, I'm thinking, I'll cash in my free play $300.
Yeah.
And we never got there.
Well, not only would it have taken us a long time to get there, but then our drive home would have been that much longer.
A lot longer, yeah, because it's in Riverside, right?
Right.
So
we're thinking, well, Morongo was just too crowded. I mean, it was very nice, but it was big and just packed. So,
it's in San Bernardino.
Yes.
Is it? I said Riverside. San
Bernardino. You were talking about San Manuel.
San Manuel.
Yes. Yeah. So at this point, we're thinking, well, gosh, it'd be nice to play some more craps. Maybe we should stop at Harrah's on the way home.
Right. And where we did have free play.
Yeah, yes. And I said, Mike, instead of Harrah's, let's stop at Pechanga because it's close. It's on our way.
It's right off the freeway.
Right. And they have a craps table.
Right.
So that's what we decided to do. So our casino crawl is over because these are all the new to us casinos. Morongo was the last one. On the way home, it's on the way. Let's go to Pechanga and we'll play some craps. So we got to Pechanga. They have 2 craps tables. Only one is open and it is packed.
I mean, packed. There was like 9 people on both sides.
Yes. And I actually asked the pit boss, hey, any chance of opening up another table? He says, I just don't have any other craps dealers.
This was another example, even there, of them not expecting people to be out. For the life of me, I don't understand that because it's a holiday week.
Yeah.
When the holiday falls on a weekday like Monday, a lot of people just take it off, right? Because a lot of them were going to work Friday anyway. So, then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, a lot of businesses were closed.
So there's no way we're getting on a table. At this point, it's like, well, we're here. Let's play. We decided to just go into the high limit area and play some $25 blackjack. It's 3-2. It had the Buster blackjack side bet.
Yes.
And let's go for it. So we did that. We played for a little while. As it turns out, the pit boss turned out to be our buddy Lorenzo, who used to be a dealer at Harrah's.
Right.
So it was nice to see him.
Yep.
We played there for what? I don't know, 45 minutes, an hour?
Probably, maybe. Yeah, not quite an hour.
And did very well.
Did very well. Yeah, we won at blackjack. Yeah. That was good.
Yeah. So that's kind of how we wound up, is like, at least we had a good taste in our mouth at the end, that we had kind of a nice win at the end.
And we got home at a decent time.
Yeah,
too.
we got, that was good.
Yeah.
After driving all day, you're kind of exhausted. So a successful trip. We do have to get back to San Manuel at one point. But we had a very good time.
Yeah. And those casinos, if you're in that area, they're certainly nice to go to.
Oh, yeah, sure. We're never going to make a special trip to go to again, but if for some reason we're just up in the Palm Springs area, or happen to be by, or we're on a trip somewhere, and hey, let's stop for an hour.
You and I decide to go to Blythe sometime, we might stop.
Anytime that could happen. So anything else about our trip, Mike?
No, I can't think of anything. Overall, it was okay day.
Yeah,
I mean, except for losing at craps.
Yes,
but the only time we played it, the rest of the day was fine.
It was fine.
Should have played blackjack all day. We won everywhere we played blackjack.
Was great to us. Yeah. Hey, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, please go to our page first, youcanbetonthat.com, and click through our Amazon link towards the top of the page. All right, let's get to our voicemail hotline. Remember, call our hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
And maybe we'll play your clip on the show. First up is Pete.
Hey, guys. This is Pete from Iowa, and I'm just calling in to ask, what's the proper etiquette in basically calling out bad play in the blackjack table? So me and my buddy and I, we sat down at a table here, nothing too major, but it was to the point where the third baseman basically hit a 13 against a dealer 3. Nevertheless, guy busts out on a face card, dealer flips over a 10, and then a 6. And as you would know it, a bunch of people at the table lost. Obviously, I know that it doesn't necessarily affect things one by one, but I know I lost that hand because of that, and I know my friend lost that hand because of that. But, obviously, as the rest of the shoe plays out, it's a different story. By the way, love the show, guys. When the whole Ohtani thing came down and I heard the Padres were the early favorite, I'm a Cubs fan myself, but I was kind of sort of happy about that because I knew two of my favorite podcasters might have, for once, gotten a little bit of joy in their sporting life, but unfortunately that was not to be. Keep the faith, gentlemen. Maybe the 2020 Padres could finally make that happen. And then also with the whole Dr. Mike versus Mark thing, I think the doctor really makes it memorable. So, like, Mark, you need a nickname, and I'll throw out suggestions, possibly Magic Mark. I don't know. I'm just throwing them out there, but hey, guys, love the show. It's December 23rd where I am, so hey, Merry Christmas. Bye.
Look, I am happy to just be the sidekick on this show.
You have a nickname, and people don't know it.
Oh, what is it?
You're the Eradicator.
Oh, Eradicator!
Yeah.
It's from Kids in the Hall. Yeah, I'm the Eradicator. I started saying that one night at poker, and boy, Paul's dad, he thought he was going to have a heart attack. He said, oh, shut up.
You said it all night.
Eradicator.
Eradicator.
Yeah. No, Mark and Dr. Mike, Bob and Dr. Mike, Tom and Dr. Mike, whatever.
That guy.
That guy and Dr. Mike. That's good. Yeah, Shohei Ohtani, he is a pitcher. It looked like he was going to sign with the Padres. Didn't he sign with the Angels, I think?
I think so, yeah. That's happened to him multiple times with Japanese players and Korean players. And the Padres are always, they have a chance, and they never get them.
Yeah, for whatever reason.
That's happened several times. Yeah. We're good at getting people who are going to be pretty good in about 3 years, so we can trade them in 2 years.
Yes, right.
And they'll go to, that's what we do.
We're very good at that, yes. So blackjack etiquette, when somebody the etiquette is keep your mouth shut. I mean, there's nothing. What are you going to say?
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
people generally don't want unsolicited advice. If they're asking you, "Oh, should I have hit there?" Then you can say, "No, here's what you did wrong." But this could have easily have helped you and not hurt you. Could have gone the other way around. Right. He takes a card and gets 19, and then the bus card is for the dealer. And then what do you say to him? Oh, you screwed up there, but thanks.
Yeah, right.
But
my dad, his theory is that he just always tries to sit at third base.
Well, that's another thing, to make the last. You make the last move,
and you can still say, somebody in front of you could have taken an extra card that you would have got that would have helped you or something. I mean, you can still, but when you're at third base, it's like, well, then I control my destiny. Kind of, you feel that way anyway. Yeah.
We've talked about it before. In the long run, it doesn't matter how other people play. On a single hand, sure, it can absolutely matter.
Right.
And if that bugs you, That's fine. We understand that. We've been there too. We're, then find another table.
Yeah.
Or think about playing a different game, maybe Blackout Poker.
You know, if the person makes a move that's not particularly wise and they don't understand the game, I don't really have a problem with that.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I do have a problem sometimes when there'll be some guy who thinks he's being a super genius, you know, outguessing the shoe or whatever, and knows the game, but says, "Yeah, I'm gonna hit this, you know, or I'm gonna do this or something." Then that's
that
kind
happened
of
at
annoying.
Pachanga, right? That guy who was
did.
sitting next to you, right? We know he knew the right move.
Oh, yeah.
he knew the right
move,
move,
right.
But he was hemming and hawing, just thinking, almost making a show out of it.
Oh, he was making a show out of it, and then he made a stupid move that cost us all.
Yeah. So, oh well, there you go. All right, next call is from Brian. Brian, if you remember from our last episode, was going to Vegas on Christmas Day with his girlfriend.
Right. Good. Let's see how it turned out.
Hi, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Brian from Northeast Ohio calling you live from Flamingo, Las Vegas. Just wanted to give you guys a trip report on my girlfriend Katie and I's first ever trip to Vegas. We got here, Flamingo, Christmas Day around 9 o'clock at night, 9:30. Broke even on the first night. Went to bed before midnight. The second day, we went right downtown because I wanted to play at Golden Gate and at the D. And I promptly got cleaned out at both locations. It was pretty abysmal. So that was it for gambling downtown for the most part. I played some video poker at Main Street and lost there as well. We moved down to the Strip, did the northern part of the Strip, as Dr. Mike suggested, for win and encore for the decorations, so my girlfriend could look around, and they were all very nice. It was filled with people playing 5 blackjack, 000 roulette, and double odds craps. I know you guys will be happy to hear that. So we neglected to play there, darn. And so we moved on south, hit some of the sites on the northern part of the Strip, and came back to Flamingo, changed for dinner, and went to Stratosphere, where we ate at the top of the world. And we did not take back Vegas while we were there, playing crapless craps or 6 to 5 blackjack, as a lot of people were. We didn't gamble again until we got back here to Flamingo, where we played for a little bit, won some money, and there was a huge line at the cashier's table for the cage. And so I said, forget it, we're taking our chips up to the room. Broke one of Mark's rules. Always cash your chips. Well, next morning, took them down to the floor to cash them in, wound up playing them for a little bit, and lost the majority of them. So that's good advice. Everybody should listen to Mark on that one. Anyway, wrapping up our final night here. Just got done watching the Bellagio fountains from the room. Katie's going to lay down and go to bed, and I'm going to run over to the Cromwell and see if I can't get some of that money back from downtown. Wish me luck, guys. I'll give you a follow-up call if it's good, and if it's bad, I might still. Thanks for everything you do. Podcast is great. See you guys later.
Okay, we'll hear from Brian again later to find out.
Well, it didn't sound like such a good trip so far.
Yeah, well,
which I'm disappointed about.
We'll see on his second call.
See, Mark already knows these.
Yeah, you haven't heard him yet.
I haven't heard him. I'm just hoping. Come on, win. I was hoping he'd say he went back to Flamingo that night and got it all back.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out. I'm trying to remember back when I say to cash in your chips. I think what I was really getting at was cash in your chips and then buy in for cash again when you go to the next table.
Right.
But that is kind of a good point. You know, when you've got the chips there, we've talked about this many times. Chips just look like chips. They don't look like money.
Right.
And so it's a lot easier.
Well, the psychology of it is it's a lot harder to pull those $100 bills out of your pocket than it is a bunch of chips.
That is good. Maybe I did give the advice like that before. Maybe that was my
sure
whole point.
you did.
So yeah, I can't remember this.
I'm sure you did. That's right up your alley.
Too long. Yeah, that does sound like me. Hey, you want to hear from Big Al?
Yeah, let's hear from Big Al.
All right, here we go.
Hi guys, Big Al from Canada, just checking in with you here. Got a little trip report from one of my favorite casinos. That's the Seneca Niagara, just in Niagara Falls. It's a great casino, lots of attractions in the area there. You get the falls and lots of museums and cool things to see, but I know you're interested in the gaming aspect. They have all the popular games that we all like to play, craps and poker and all the good stuff. Did have some good crap action there on my last trip. And when I arrived there, they only had the high limit tables, and they had 2 of those, and there was nobody playing them. So I scooted back a little bit later. They dropped the limits, and we got into some good action. They have very, very good dining there, some great restaurants. Stay away from the buffet, though. I wouldn't recommend that. And if you're into entertainment, they have a little entertainment area called the Bears Den. And usually for $25-$30, you get to see some very, very good shows. I'm not a high roller by any means, but they do comp me with free rooms and meals and everything, and I think that's good. And one thing I wanted to run by you is, I don't know if you're like me, frustrated when you're playing at these tables and there's people, I think Jay Leno refers to them as the more money and brains cut. These guys that play in blackjack, like to split sixes and do all kinds of weird things like that. And I just wondered what your feelings are on that and the dumb bets they make at the craps and all the other games. So just run that by you. And anyway, and I know Dr. Mike's a big fishing fan, and I just want to extend to him, I have a fish camp up in the wilderness in Quebec here, and if Mike ever wants to be my guest, just give me a shout, and we'll hook him up. Anyway, you guys enjoy the holidays. Have a great New Year's, and looking forward to hearing more of your wonderful podcast. Talk to you later. Bye now.
There you go, Mike.
Oh, yeah. I'd love to go to Quebec. I've never been to Quebec.
Yeah. Now,
Ontario a lot.
you love fishing.
Yeah.
You've been on many fishing trips.
Fishing trips.
I have never been on a fishing trip.
Right.
You know me. Would you agree that if I were on a fishing trip, that very soon into it, I'd be tearing my hair out?
Yes, very soon into it because first of all, your phone wouldn't work. I mean, the games on it you could play that were logged in there, but you wouldn't have anything else to do with your phone.
Yeah, those long. Anybody who's seen me at a craps table, I mean, I'm antsy at a craps table. You can imagine would be trying to relax.
I'll tell you what,
fishing.
though, poker game every night and drinking. And then fishing all day.
Yeah.
You might like to run the poker game every night.
That I guess I could handle. Yeah, if you could just jet me in just for the poker game and then
during
back
the
to a
day,
nice
you'd
hotel
actually
or something.
like fishing in Canada because it's not a lot of sitting around.
Okay.
And you catch a lot of fish.
All right.
Yeah, it's not like, you're on a lake and you're just doing nothing. I mean, if you don't catch fish, you're doing something really, really
All
wrong.
right. Okay. Maybe someday. Well, as far as high rollers who don't know what they're doing or stupid gamblers or whatever you want to call them, I don't know about you. I don't think I ever get angry necessarily unless they're like winning real big and we're losing. And it's like, Arr.
That's frustrated angry.
Right.
Yeah.
But I kind of like just gossiping about them. It's like, hey, look how much that guy's putting in the field right now.
Right.
Or, he's talking about.
We do that a lot.
Oh my God, he's splitting tens. Let's see what happens.
Well, there's a difference between dumb bets and aggressive bets. So some people might say that I parlay my hard six every time is dumb. Why not collect the money?
Yes.
But to me, that's just being aggressive, hoping for a big win. Mm-hmm. Splitting sixes,
against
I don't.
a 10.
Yeah, against a 10. I don't care, how much money you have, $1 or $1 million. That's stupid.
Yeah, that's not aggressive. That's stupid.
That's just stupid.
Yeah,
I mean, your chances of winning are not very good.
Yeah.
At least with the hard way. I mean, I know it's a bad bet, but
you're having fun.
Yeah, and I'm not using more money. I'm just using my initial money and parlaying it. It's funny because a lot of times I'll sit there and in my head I tell myself, you only put $10 out there.
Yeah, to start. Yeah.
To start. So yeah, I don't think about it like, well, I could have collected 90 and still have 10 out there. I think to myself, well, if that never hits, I lost $10.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just a way of tricking myself into thinking, justifying why I'm doing it. Yeah. But I could never justify splitting sixes against a 10. I mean, what would I say in my head?
That's right.
This is.
Oh, I thought it was. I was in a tournament where I'm trying to get as much money as most at the table. All right. Next up is our buddy Neil.
Hey guys, it's Neil here with a trip report. I took a recent trip to Vegas over Christmas, which is kind of unconventional for me because I usually go during the summers. Although it was okay, it was kind of a trip that I could take. Everything was comped and already paid for with points that I had to use by a certain time. I was a little dead and a little bit more time on my hands than I usually have. Usually I go to pools and do stuff like summer activities, this and that. So from that aspect, it was a little slow. I did play craps. I played at several places. I played at Mandalay Bay. I played at Harrah's, but mostly downtown El Cortez. Played at the D. Played at the downtown Grand. Met up with Eric. Tried some off-the-wall, kind of unconventional places. Like we went to the Orleans, and we also went to the Gold Coast and played there. Usually don't play hard ways. Played at the downtown Grand. Was feeling froggy and put $100 on a hard 8. That hit. Did this $25 at the Golden Gate, and that hit for a hard 6. Other than that, not much of a trip report. Craps were good, made money on the trip. I stayed at the Valley Tower at Harrah's, and that was actually super nice, really, really nice. On a side note, I don't know if anybody wants to know, but I took Spirit Airlines for the first time, and as much as I thought I was going to have to complain about it and prepared myself for the worst, it was actually one of the most fluid flights. The customer service was great. It was on time. They upgraded me on both sides because I'm a tall person, as you guys know. So it was really fun, and the trip was good. But I probably, going forward, will probably only take summer trips. I just felt like there's too much gambling time on my hands, and after a while, you do 8 hours of it a day for 4 days. It gets to be a bit much when you can't break it up with doing some summer pool activities, this and that. Oh, one other thing is that the all small tall, I saw it at New York also where I played, but I'm just losing track of finding fire bets in Vegas. I can't find them anywhere. Everybody has gone to this repeater bet, and I saw the fire maybe at one place, so I think that they're doing away with it for the most part. But repeaters were everywhere, and then the all small tall was also only paying 150 to 1 on the all, and 30 to 1 on the small and the tall. I was only 2 from hitting the all at New York, and I just missed it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we mentioned this after your last trip to Vegas, that as far as the Strip and downtown Vegas go, the Firebet's gone.
Yeah, it's virtually gone.
And it's disappearing. You can still find it at local casinos in Vegas. But as far as the tourist places, they've just done away with it. Yeah.
I kind of dozed off a little in the middle there, Neil, but I could have swore he said something about there was nothing to do but gamble for 8 hours.
I didn't understand what he was talking about either.
I didn't get that whole thing.
No,
I don't understand the problem there.
We must have missed something there. Maybe part of his call got cut off or something. I don't understand what that was either. Yeah.
I don't know what else Neil wants to do.
No, I don't understand. You know what's funny, Mike? We've never played craps with Neil.
No.
He's called in before we met him, but just the way it turned out, we've never actually been at a table with him. Yeah, that's funny. And he's got a rare positive review for Spirit Airlines. So
yes, that's
there
rare.
You go.
That's
take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, and and I think of Neil, I think of Larry, and we haven't played craps with Larry. When was the last time we played craps with Larry?
No, I know. We've never played real craps with dice. We've played with him a few times at Harrah's, but right. I know it just hasn't worked out.
Yeah, we got to rectify that.
Yeah, I'll put something together here soon. All right, next call.
Hi, Mark and Dr. Mike. My name is Greg. I've written in a couple times but never called. I just have a few questions for you. The first one is that my job is going to be bringing me back to the States. As you can hear, I'm in the airport returning home. I'm going to be returning to the States, the Washington, D.C. area for about a year, and I'd love to play craps at the MGM National Harbor. However, my bankroll is usually about $200, $300 a pop, and from what I've heard, the craps tables are usually about $25 limit. So I was wondering how you guys would handle a situation like that where your bankroll is significantly low for the table minimum. For background, my style, I usually play pastime with the mods and place the 6 and 8. My second question is that I'll be in Vegas for the Super Bowl this year. It'll be my first time in Vegas for the big game. I was wondering if you guys have ever been for the Super Bowl and if you have any tips or recommendations for Vegas for the Super Bowl. Of course, if you guys are there, I'd love to meet up with you, maybe buy you a well drink. And I'd love to buy you a karma bet also while I'm there. So just let me know what team you like, or if you like the over-under, let me know and I'd be happy to place a bet for you. Okay, thanks again. Love the show. Bye.
Yeah, good. Thanks, Greg. We've never been in Vegas for Super Bowl weekend.
Not for the Super Bowl weekend. We've been there the week before the Super Bowl.
That used to be a tradition with us.
Many times,
yes. Yeah, we'd go the week before, we'd make our bets, we'd talk to dealers and, hey, who do you like? That kind of thing. I can't see us ever actually going for the Super Bowl because we wouldn't watch it.
Yeah, here's the thing. I like to watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And if I'm at a casino, even if it's on some mega huge thing with thousands of people are having, I'm going to go play craps.
Yeah. And maybe it'll be on the screen behind the craps table, but it'll be a secondary,
you'll
distraction.
Be kind of looking up at it.
Yeah.
So, and I like to sit at home and watch it.
Me too.
I don't even like to go to parties anymore. When I was younger, I did. But now people talk.
Yeah,
and I'm like watching the football game. I'm interested in the game. I'm like, stop talking.
So I can't see us ever actually going to Vegas for the Super Bowl. But you know who is going? The folks who put together Oceans 14 XL are putting together a Super Bowl meetup. And that includes podcasts Tipping the Odds, Las Vegas Junkie, Vegas Confessions, also Doug, a.k.a. Epic Esquire. He's going to be there. They're going to be there for Super Bowl in Las Vegas. So,
and where's that happening at?
They're going to all sorts of different places. They're still putting together the agenda. But if you want, listen to those podcasts. Also on Twitter, follow hashtag Oceans14SB. So that's Oceans14SB for Super Bowl. Although they can't officially say it's Super Bowl. It's the big game, right?
It's the big game. Yeah. Don't even start me on the NFL.
All right. Yeah.
That's a whole different podcast.
But they're going to be there. We cannot make it, but that should be a really great event. Yeah. Now, as far as a small bankroll, if you're going to MGM National Harbor, and you could end up at a $25 table. You've got $200. I would suggest place the 6 and 8 for $30 each. Don't even make a pass line bet. Just do that. And maybe be prepared to go home early. Yeah. Because if the dice are cold, you could be out of that 200 real quick.
Well, this is what my dad does, and he does this a lot at Harrah's, Southern California. Mm-hmm. He'll buy in for $300, and you and I will be on a $25 table. He'll put a quarter on the line, single odds, right. No matter what it is, single odds behind it, and then he'll take the 6 and 8. So if 6 or 8 is a point, then he just takes the other one, and that's all he does. And he's had some pretty good luck.
You can survive. It could go okay.
Once you get a roll, guy makes a few 6s or 8s or something, hits a couple numbers, then he starts playing a little more aggressively. He'll take the 5 and 9, or he'll do something else, take a few hard ways. But he starts off slow, and sometimes it works out pretty well for him.
Yeah. Another suggestion, Greg, too, if you're willing to drive a little further, you could go to Maryland Live, where they're going to have lower limits, probably better rules on blackjack too, if you want to play some blackjack. It is about twice as far to drive, and DC traffic is going to be hellacious at times too, so it'll depend. But if you're willing to drive about twice as far, maybe Maryland Live might be a better choice, and your gambling dollar is going to go a lot further.
Yeah, that's a ways though. It's kind of like us driving up to Valley Center.
Yeah, it is. If you have good traffic, you could get there in an hour from DC. Again, depending on the time of day, but that is an option. Yeah. All right, let's hear from Kelly.
Hello, guys. It's Kelly from Utah. Happy New Year. I had called a few weeks ago to talk about Treasure Island and some of the benefits that we've enjoyed from staying there over the years. And I wanted to call today to warn your listeners about the Treasure Island poker room. The casino and everything is still fine, but the poker room is not fine. We believe that there is a lot of collusion that's been going on there for some time. And here are 3 things that we have actually witnessed ourselves that they do. There's a group of players that plays every single tournament, and this scam is specific to the tournaments. The players are in cahoots with the dealers, and they'll start a tournament. They're really cheap. They're like $60 to play a tournament. And one thing they'll do is the player, if he's in on the scam, he wins a hand, he says, "Oh, I feel like I should tip the dealer, ha ha ha," and he'll throw him a really low denomination chip, like 100, and the dealer will laugh and put it in his pocket and let it sit for a few seconds, ha ha ha, here you go, and he'll pull out of his pocket a pink $5,000 chip and hand it back to the player, and you're looking and thinking, did I really see that, And the second thing that they do is, and this one works late at night when everybody's really tired, drunk, 1 o'clock in the morning, is the player who's in on it will say, he'll verbally declare his hand, like flush. And there's like 2 diamonds on the board, and the player has 2 in his hand. And the player who's not in on it will muck his winning hand, and the dealer will collect all the cards really quick, and before anybody can notice it and call them out. And my husband, Kevin, actually called them out on that last time, and they said, well, the cards have already been scooped up, too bad, And then the other thing that they will do is they'll try to convince other players to include, if one of the people who's in on it, on the scam, they'll try to talk the other players into including that person in the money if they are on the bubble. The person could literally have 1 chip sitting in front of them, and players will say, well, let's, let this person in on the money. So, buyer beware if you play poker at Treasure Island. My husband actually won first place last time he played, but he was just so disgusted by the whole thing that he didn't even tip the dealers when he went out. And him not tipping is like Dr. Mike not parlaying his hard 6. So if you play there, it's, at your own risk. All right. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
This is really bad.
Yes.
Let's talk about this for a while.
You know, and those are common things. I've heard of these things happening before. And I'm sure when we played Pai Gow poker, not tournaments, but back in the day,
just Pai Gow poker.
Pai Gow poker, there was a lot of collusion between
yes.
certain players and dealers and stuff going on.
Absolutely.
I mean, we knew about it.
Yeah, we never caught anybody, but we know that it had to be going on. Yes, right. Let's work our way back because I want to talk about that dealer tip situation last because that's the worst one.
Yeah.
And I do want to kind of explain for people who maybe are not familiar with poker and particularly tournament poker, maybe some
or
terms
being on
here.
the bubble.
So when you're on the bubble, that means that you are basically last to be eliminated before any of the money.
Right.
So you're
so
in
if
the
they're paying 4 places, you're 5th.
Yes, right. So that means being on the bubble. So what Kelly's talking about is maybe there's a regular who, again, maybe there are 5 players left. They only pay the top 4 spots, and this one player has 1 chip, right? And his buddies are among the 4, and maybe you're not. You know, you're sitting there as one of the 5, but you don't know any of these people. Say, hey, let's do a chop. Let's do a split. Let's split up
all the winnings,
the tournament money, all the winnings, like evenly amongst us, or something like that. They're just trying to get money for their buddy, who is probably going to be eliminated on the next hand, or maybe a few hands later. And so that's what she's talking about there. Nothing really illegal going on there. It's just, is it unethical? Yeah, because it's collusion.
Well,
right?
and if 3 people are telling you let's do this and you're the 4th saying no,
putting pressure
I
on
don't
it,
want
yes.
to. You know, you almost always cave in, right?
So that's bad.
Yeah.
It's not something that you could be arrested for, but that is bad. Now, the previous thing that Kelly was talking about is players declaring hands that they don't really have. Oh, I've got a flush, kind of just really quickly doing it. Well, again, that's more of an angle shoot. That's not real. An angle shoot, again, using poker terms, that's where you're kind of, you're not really cheating, but you're bending the rules kind of towards your way. You can lie about your hand in poker. Certainly deception is a big part of poker.
Right.
And you can say, oh, I've got a flush. But just because you say you have a hand doesn't mean that that's the hand you have. Cards speak for themselves. And what that means is, whatever the cards say, if you look at all the cards, that determines the hand that you have. So again, nothing really illegal there unless the dealer is part of it too. And she talked about the dealer, picking up the cards real quick.
Well, in this case, the dealer was part of it, picking up the cards real quick so nobody could say, wait a minute. Yeah, I don't see a flush.
That would be collusion. That would be cheating. That would certainly be something that's illegal.
Right.
Now, that very first thing that she talked about, and I want to talk about this, when you're playing a cash game, poker cash game, and a cash game is just not a tournament where you're playing for money. Typically, you will tip the dealer if you win a hand, and you do so by just tossing him or her a chip. Maybe $1 chip, $2 chip, something like that. You don't do that in tournament play because your chips aren't worth anything.
Yeah, they can't take that chip to the cage and say, give me $5.
They're just
it's
tournament
worth
chips.
Nothing.
Usually tipping for tournaments is either included in your buy-in, or at the end, the people who have won the tournament or at least gotten in the money, they'll tip the dealer's cash just right there. So you don't do that. So what happened in this case was the player, I think I'll tip the dealer. They're pretending like they're joking. Kelly says, oh, here's a tip. And, they toss him $100 chip. And again, this is a non-negotiable chip. $100 is not much in tournament chips.
Right.
And so the dealer, puts it in his pocket like he's gotten a tip.
Like he got a $100 tip.
And then after this big joke is over, here, I'll return your chip to you now so that you can play with it. Gives him a higher denomination chip.
Right.
That is absolutely cheating and illegal. And Kelly, I don't know if this is something you and your husband would want to do, but something that probably gaming should be made aware of.
Right.
Now, I don't know, it's something that's happened in the past. It might not be something that you could complain about now. If you called them on the spot, are you willing to do that? Are you willing to put that time in? Or, who knows? Maybe just make a report and see if they follow up on it. I don't know. I really don't know. But that is absolutely cheating and illegal.
And it would seem to me, the casino running the tournament, if you stood up and said, hey, he gave you 100, you gave him back a 500 chip or a 5,000 chip or whatever, I would just call the pit over and say, look, just check that dealer's pocket.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Right. And if he has any chips in his pocket, any chips at all, there's cheating going on because there's no reason for him to have money. And I would just
certainly not tournament chips. There's no reason for a dealer to have a tournament chip in his pocket.
And if you're pretty sure that they just did that, I mean, I'd call them out right there.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to gaming. Just call them out right there.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the casino doesn't want that. That is true, right? It's not the casino that's behind this. It's a dealer and a player. Yeah.
Right. And so once the casino found out, that dealer would get fired. Because they risk a big problem from gaming. If they're,
sure.
They're cheating,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I mean, that's the casino. They'll just fire the dealer because they do not want to get in trouble with the gaming commission.
That's true. But, if gaming does come in, sure, these people could go to prison. I mean, that's they take cheating very seriously.
Very seriously.
That game. All right. Thanks very much for that call, Kelly. Yeah, definitely beware at the Treasure Island poker room. Yeesh. All right. You want to find out how Brian did?
Yep. Let's hear it.
All right. Here we go.
Hi, Mark, Dr. Mike, Brian from Northeast Ohio again, calling with the report from the Cromwell. But before I do that, it dawned on me about halfway through my session in the Cromwell that I neglected to tell you guys about the second full day of our trip that we hit the south end of the strip. Went to the south end on the second day, played Mandalay. I only played Mandalay and Excalibur. Went to Tropicana, Excalibur, Luxor, Mandalay. Saw the Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas sign. Wonderful tourist trap there. And worked our way north through New York, and Gem, and all the good stuff. But the important stuff, the gambling, won a little bit at Mandalay, broke even at Excalibur playing double-deck blackjack 3-2. I was pretty impressed that I found it, so I had to play it. Broke even thanks to my girlfriend hoarding away some the original buy-in. So when I lost, I just said, we're done, broke even. So we moved forward up north through Paris and all that, and eventually got to Bellagio and Caesars. Wanted to play at Bellagio, but the only $10 table was packed. So we went over to Caesars. I pressed to find 3 $10 tables, and one 25, and the 25 just had a real high roller on it. Won about $85, so not huge, but inching my way back from the day before. And then we stopped for a while, walked around, got some dinner and all that good stuff. Went through Treasure Island, and then worked our way back here to Flamingo, where I called you the first time. So the important stuff, the trip to Cromwell, I managed to win a good chunk of my losses back. So I'm only down about a buy-in for the trip. I can't complain with that. Anyway, final question. While I was playing at Caesar's Palace, I saw it was a pretty decent high roller. He was in for $1,500 or so. So I think the point was a 4 or 5. And so he placed all the other numbers for about 100, 120 on the, I think. And then he looked at these, put my chips right here, pointed to the rack next to him, covered up his chips, said, I'm going to the bathroom. And I just wanted to know if Dr. Mike had ever placed his bets before he went to the bathroom and collected them when he got back. So anyway, thanks for the podcast, guys. Look forward to hearing from you. Bye.
Some casinos won't let you do that.
No, because when you win, what do you do?
You're not there. Yeah. So I'd say most casinos will not.
Yeah.
If you need to go to the bathroom in the middle of the roll, they will just put a lammer on saying that your bets are off. Other than your pass line bet, that has to work. Or any cum bets that you have up there, obviously, they continue to work. I guess if you were a regular or maybe you were the only one at the table. Well, that doesn't make sense. Nobody rolled the dice in that case, but I think most places know when you leave, unless there's like your wife is there and she'll play for me. It's like, okay. Or even there have been times where we're regulars up at Harrah's. They know us.
Yeah.
And you'll go to the bathroom and say, oh yeah, okay, you can play Mike's chips for us. And I always wash my hands, you know, but, so the camera can see it. Yeah. So that they see. But usually you can't do that.
Yeah. Well, we do make our fire bets.
That they will let you do. Yeah.
I gotta
before you go to the bathroom.
New roll. I make my fire bet. I got to go to the bathroom. So we put our fire bet down, run to the bathroom. Yeah. And usually it's so slow. We get back. It's like we missed one roll.
Yeah. But I've never seen you actually intentionally do that. Like, here are my bets. I'm going to the bathroom.
No. I usually try and wait.
Yeah. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. Oh, did you watch LA to Vegas last night? You didn't watch it? Did you record it?
No, we didn't.
All right, I'll save it for you. It's a new comedy on Fox about an airline that flies from LA to Vegas. And each episode, it's basically they fly out on Friday and they come back on Sunday. The pilot episode, it had a few good laughs. It really did. I'd say that I don't know that it's the kind of thing that's going to be able to survive with this premise, I think, because, just being on the plane, they were pretty much on the plane the whole time. So they might have to mix it up. And it had a few good laughs. Okay. It's zany. Yeah. It's not like airplane crazy. It's like, just kind of, they're all caricatures and it's silly.
A little silly.
Yeah. So I think you'd like it. There were some good funny things in it. So Hey, we want to thank some people for some PayPal donations. First of all, Thomas, he says, thanks for all the work on a great podcast. I'll be heading to Vegas in January over Martin Luther King weekend, and we'll make a football bet for the show once we know who is playing. Oh, thanks very much for that, Thomas. Also, another PayPal donation from listener Brian. We certainly appreciate it. Hey, be sure to check out our TV listings showing all the gambling-related shows coming up within the next 2 weeks. We update those listings every Wednesday using a customized program that searches through all the raw American TV data. Just go to youcanbetonThat.com/TV-listings. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 951-2-WAGERS. Or you can email us at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at youcanbetonThat and on Facebook at facebook.com/youcanbetonThat. Finally, please go to your favorite podcast app and write a review on us. We love getting your feedback. My voice isn't quite back yet. How take us home, Mike.
Well, I just wanted to tell Thomas that don't put any money on the San Diego Chargers because there is no San Diego Chargers.
Oh, that's right.
And don't put any money on the LA Chargers because they didn't make it.
Oh, that's right, too.
As usual. So who do you think, Mark's who would you like to win the Super Bowl?
Who would I like to win the Super Bowl? Oh, Mike, I wasn't prepared for this question. I have no idea. If you'd asked me who's going to win, I don't know.
I think it's a very, very obvious choice.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
The Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, I'll go for that.
Yep.
Sure.
It's in Minnesota.
Yep, that's true. They'll be playing in Minnesota. That's true. It'd be good for Tim and Michelle, although if you ask them, they'll probably say, the Vikings, what the heck,
I love the Vikings. I mean, my wife's from Minnesota, so we're Viking fans at our house.
That's right. Okay, you're right. I wasn't even thinking, Mike.
It's a very obvious answer, Mark. You really are sick.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to see any of those teams that have won.
No, you're right. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I'm 100% behind Minnesota.
And who's the last team you want to see?
The New England Patriots, of course.
The New England Patriots.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Of course.
Yeah, followed closely by the Philadelphia Eagles for me.
Oh, yeah, I guess so, too. Yeah. Although our good buddy Frank is a big Eagles fan. He's from Philadelphia.
I don't know. Something about Philadelphia.
No. All right, Minnesota. That sounds good. That's good. All right, anything else?
That's who we're going to go with. No, I don't have anything else. We have a college football championship coming up.
Yeah, boy, that Rose Bowl, wasn't that something?
Rose Bowl
oh, my gosh.
Great.
That was a great game,
The last couple of years has been a great game.
Yeah, it's been good.
So I'm hoping that the final championship games is good. So
enjoy.
We'll see what happens with that. It's very funny to me that the team that's undefeated in Division I college football doesn't get to go to the,
All right, we could talk about the whole, ranking and, hey, at least they've got a playoff now.
Right.
At least
it's a step in the right direction.
There are some semifinals.
Yeah, it's a step in the right direction. And I hope everyone has good luck this year.
Yeah, good luck, everybody.
2018. I hope it's good to all of us.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Good night.